Hello, welcome back to Tangible Investments. And before we go any further, I need to say that I am not a financial advisor, and any investment decisions you make based on anything I say in these videos is entirely down to you. So, today we're going to talk about 3 really quick and easy ways that you can determine whether your bullion, gold or silver, is real. Okay, just 3 practical ways that you can do it. Okay, so for these tests, you are going to need some to probably buy some items, most certainly. First thing, you're going to need a set of digital scales. Okay, I got these off eBay. It cost me about £12, really cheap. I couldn't believe it. You can get loads of different variations. Don't need to be anything particularly special. I appreciate the fact that these scales here aren't probably, maybe not going to be as accurate to the micron of some mega super expensive scales. I appreciate that, but they're good enough to tell me within 0.01 of a gram, either way. Second thing I would say is you need to get yourself some magnets. Okay, and the third thing is I would say you need to get yourself a loop. Okay, which is an eyepiece for inspecting jewellery. And this particular one was very cheap. It was like £4. It's got a set of LEDs built in, and it's just very simple to use. Anyway, let's go back into our first method. So, as we know, gold, incredibly dense, one of the densest metals there is on Earth. It's very hard to replicate. To replicate this coin with another metal, to make it the same dimensions and weight and thickness, is just nearly impossible. It's impossible for the average, scammer. Is just not going to be able to do that. So we know that a sovereign's got a diameter of 22.05 millimeter and a thickness of 1.52 millimeters. So we could obviously measure that if we had a micrometer, which is something I haven't actually mentioned, but something you could buy. But you could use a decent ruler, and it would get you, you would be able to see by your eye within reason that it wasn't. Obviously, if it's 5 millimeters thick and 25 millimeters wide, there's something wrong with it as a sovereign. Okay, so the other way obviously is the weight. So I'll set of scales, turn these on, and calibrate. Now I think a sovereign should be 7.98 grams, he says, and that's come out at 8 grams, so it is just slightly over. Now the actual gold content of a sovereign is 7.322 grams. Don't confuse that with its total weight. It's the total weight we care about of the coin, not the actual gold content weight of the coin. So normally I would weigh it at least 3 times, and maybe I take an average. Maybe 5. Maybe I might weigh it a bit more. But this is, like I say, it's saying 8 grams. I can live with that. I'm happy with that. Okay, I have weighed this coin before and it said 7.98, but typically in this video it hasn't. So that's 2 ways. So the dimensions and the physical weight of the coin. And the third way, really obvious, quick, easy way, is to use some magnets. Okay, now we all know metal is not gold is not magnetic. So obviously I'm going to place this magnet on top. There's a staple there on top of that magnet. Almost good. Put it on top, and hey presto, it's not picking up. Not great in some ways if you've got a really precious coin to be, putting a magnet on it. You could probably do it through the plastic seal. Still get the same effect. Silver coin is not magnetic either, because silver is not magnetic. So we can say that this sovereign, within reason, is, I think, I've bought it from a reputable source. It's passed its physical dimensions test, and it's passed my weight test, and I'm happy with it. And so going back to the loop, you can use it to inspect your coins as well. And before purchasing them, if you are going to purchase a physical bullion, I mean, on this coin here, I think it's safe to say this particular coin, yeah, it's got see that some black marks there. Now that, I believe, is down to, in fact, it's a sovereign, so it's obviously not 100% pure gold, and the oxidation, it's about 111 years old, this sovereign, so it's apparently somebody said to me it's just oxidised or where it's been rubbed. I don't know if that's true or not. I'm not that bothered about it. I mean, I'd rather it didn't have that. I still know it's a sovereign and it's come from a reputable source, but if you're in a shop and you're going to go out and buy some physical gold from somewhere in the high street or an auction house or something like that, you might want to take one of these along just to have a look at it if you can handle it, you know. And when it comes to handling it, as you'll see, I'm wearing a nitrile, obviously, rubber glove here. Now, some people were like, "Oh my God, you know, look, I'm going to touch this gold coin with my bare hands. Oh no, it's gonna ruin it. It's gonna, you know, explode in my hands or something crazy like that." I mean, it's up to you. If you've got a really precious gold coin, super numismatic piece that you've worth thousands, I probably wouldn't touch it with my fingers, you know. You've got to be practical. I mean, it's just a best value sovereign from a bullion dealer, you know. I'm going to get slated probably. I probably shouldn't touch it too much. I quite like to touch my gold coins actually with my hands, fingers. The silver coins, you know, there is a bit more. People are quite precious about them. Touching those with your hands, some say it causes all this milk spots and all the rest of it, and you know it's not good. The oils from your you know, human body being on these coins and then being put into sealed cases and all the rest of it. I get all that. I'm totally up for not handling your coins at all with your bare skin. You shouldn't touch them. That's fine if you want to do that. If you touch bullion, gold and silver with your bare fingers, is anyone going to know or care? Probably not that much, unless it's, like I say, something really numismatic, super special. I would expect you then not to be touching it anyway. I mean, I aim in this video at somebody who's just going to be buying some bullion, gold and silver. So yeah, if you want to buy yourself some rubber gloves, do it. They're cheap. Get them for a box of 100 for £5 or something on eBay. You know, it's probably worth just having it. You know, I mean, you could say also, you know, coins are quite dirty things. They could have been anywhere. There's that factor as well. So, you know, it's up to you whether you want to touch your coins or not. I'm not going to go into that on this video too much. So there we go. Just a couple of simple ways that I check my bullion. I check it even if I bought it from a reputable source. I still weigh it and check it. I probably just check the weight and inspect it, and when it turns up, you know, and I do tend to compare it with what I saw in the picture, if there was a picture of it, to make sure I've got the coin I actually ordered as well, and it's not got any marks on it. So, you know, if I ordered this sovereign, for example, and it didn't have this black spot on it, and it turned up and it did, well, then obviously and other marks, then I'll be sending it back, you know. So you know, I definitely think it's worth an investment just to have something like that if you're serious about it, and checking your coins over. So that's it really. So any comments or questions or thoughts, and if you've got any other ideas or practical ways of checking bullion, obviously, you know, you can do this acid tests, and some people say you can flick the coin and hear the noise of it, and you know, I don't think, unless you are really, really experienced, that's a practical way of testing whether a coin is truly what it says it is. I'd rather check the physical dimensions and the weight of it with the digital scales than risk flicking it or trying to buy some nitric acid or something. Anyway, thank you very much, and I'll see you soon.